What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Thursday, and I'm going to do something a little different this time. We're going to go deep, 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 deep into the horror genre, just for the purpose...
Could you hear my jaw dropping? Could you hear my mouth falling open at the disrespect? Could you hear my heart skip a beat at this betrayal? Is that why you stopped? Because you heard my physical reaction to the words coming out of your mouth?
Actually, no. I just realized I completely screwed up.
Oh yeah? 'Cause
Yeah.
I think you fucking did, dude. You want to take some of that shit back?
No, because the screw up is in the fact that I didn't start the screen share with you, and as a result, the moment I went silent was the moment that this went off. The whole thing was supposed to be a switch, and I fucked it all up by not setting the share. And now
see.
everybody's got to put up with the intro twice as a result.
Oh, so they heard it and I didn't?
Yes.
Because my reaction is you throwing such, first of all, yeah! Woo! Okay, got it out of my system.
Oh,
The
God.
shade, Alpha. We were having such a pleasant, pre-show conversation. We were talking about what good fucking friends we are. And here you are casting aspersions on my honor as a human. Talking about how I was going to try and play it true to life, that this was going to be me.
Do you really want to talk about how I can besmirch honor?
I don't have a ton of secrets, and I don't know.
Oh no, this isn't a secret. Not after. Well, actually, you know what? There's a crowd that probably didn't see it because you never fucking exported it.
No, I'm sorry. I did let it expire.
Yes, you did. And I'm not going to do it again. Not this time. Anyway, here's the real thing that we're doing.
So much abuse. So much abuse.
Anyway, those of you who can see the DOSBox screen here and can read the path for what it is, realize that we're not actually going into horror at all. Hell, if you read the fucking banner, you know we're not going into horror at all. No, what we're doing is
Unless
reviving...
he's still insulting me.
By the way, that's Wit, in case you guys weren't sure.
And that's Alpha, and he's mean to me sometimes, but he's still a very good friend.
I do it because I care. Okay, so we are back with the old Live Your Best Life series, which I haven't done in a little while because I haven't had anybody to do this with. But basically the idea of the series is Alter Ego, the life simulator game.
Not to be confused with The Sims.
Yes. So, the first thing we need to decide on is a name. And by we, I mean you.
Presumably Wit, right?
It's totally up to you.
Although, we call me by my real name enough. We could just put Jackie.
Do you want to do that?
Yeah, it's a little less confusing. JACQUI, please.
Yes.
Thank you. Alter
Okay.
Ego Personality Development Profile. Use the arrow keys to move the pointer next to a response. Press space to select.
Yeah, so we're going to do let me select my own personality because I don't know if you've seen anybody else do this so far, but there's a questionnaire to
Totally
start.
blind.
Okay, so there's a questionnaire to start this off.
Yeah, we're trying to stretch this. We have
Yeah, we have
three episodes,
We have 3 episodes.
and then Alpha has to take 2 weeks off.
Yeah, because I've got musical obligations. So
Bunch of concert.
Yeah, so we're going to try and finish this in 3 episodes. Yeah, we should be able to do it. But anyway, select my own
Stretch
personality.
it out.
So this is going to be a series of true-false questions. I will probably try to answer these questions honestly.
True.
I am likely to speak whatever comes to mind.
False.
And by the way, you can elaborate before you make answers. When the Cannibal Kitty and Solar did it on Cannibal's channel, oh, they did that. They had to play it together with their conflicting views and all.
Oh boy.
But yeah, if you've
They
got
have made an
elaboration,
amalgam person.
I'll send you a link to that, to the first part of that series, and you can watch as far as we made it through,
All
just
right.
so you can see what goes on there.
Oh
But
boy.
anyway, yeah, if you have
Let's
elaborations to any of your answers that you want to share, feel free to do so.
Um, I am not as brave as I make myself out to be when it comes to stuff like that.
Hmm,
Um, and, we all have the intrusive thoughts that we generally don't say, so I'm counting those too.
that's true. I am a
I
light
am a,
sleeper who stirs at even the slightest sound.
uh, I would say I'm a thoroughly average sleeper.
Hmm,
Um, depending on how asleep I am, I can hear my front door open when Kuro comes in, but sometimes I don't wake up until she is crawling into bed next to me.
has anybody
Um,
ever told you a story of like something happened and you slept right through it?
no, I mean that it helps that I've always had my own room, even growing up.
That's fair.
And then when I didn't have my own room, I always slept with earplugs. I started sleeping with earplugs in college and only stopped a couple years ago
Hmm. I mean, to me, it sounds like
when I discovered that I could not hear either my fire alarm or my carbon monoxide alarm.
oh dear, that provides a considerable amount of false evidence, at least to my ears.
So, well, I mean that was artificial. I had the earplug.
Hmm.
I am earplugless. I have trouble falling asleep if there's a lot of dynamic noise.
Okay.
But once I'm asleep, I'm usually okay. So I'm gonna say I am gonna say fall
Okay.
just because I am not a light sleeper. I'm just not a heavy sleeper.
Okay. Good enough.
Revenge
Revenge
is
is sweet.
sweet. Mm, false. I'm not very vindictive. I will fantasize about vindictiveness, but actually getting it is not nearly as satisfying. I tend to be much too sympathetic.
That's fair. You often feel slow, tired, and down in the dumps.
Um, Certainly used to, but have been medicated for depression for many years.
Mm.
Um, and I have a therapist, and the combination of those works quite well for me.
Hmm.
Um, so I would say false.
Okay.
I'm usually pretty, I wouldn't say even keeled, but I'm not depressed very often.
I mean, for a
Important
two-ended,
part of every,
yeah, an important part of
yeah,
every job
there's,
is knowing whom to impress. And I mean, for only two choices, you got to kind of weigh one or the other.
here's how I'm interpreting this current question.
Hmm.
As people may know, my day job is repairing musical instruments.
Uh huh.
It's a great job. You should all consider it. You don't need to go to college. You just need to go to trade school or apprentice. Anyway, that's the end of the commercial. Um, Sometimes I tailor the level. I'm trying to think of how I tailor the level of work I do. How soon I will say good enough, it's ready to go.
Hmm.
Um, and part of me does consider whose instrument it is before I give it back
Hmm.
and the level of player. But I'm trying to decide if that is the most important thing that I base it on or the limitations of the instrument itself. You can't make a student instrument sound like a professional instrument
Oh
without
no.
completely re-engineering the whole thing.
Oh
And no one will
no.
pay for that.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Couldn't really expect them to either, honestly.
so if a professional player comes in with a cruddy horn, I may say good enough at the same time as I would if it's a 10-year-old
Hmm.
because the horn is cruddy.
Absolutely true.
So I think it's something I look at, but I don't know particularly important.
Hmm.
Um,
So you say,
I'm gonna say false, but
okay,
it's not a very strong false.
gotcha. You are fascinated by car accidents and other disaster scenes.
Ooh, no, false. I
Mm,
find them particularly upsetting.
mm. The people who know you best like you as a person.
I would love to meet the people who answer this question as false,
Mm,
because I have a theory that they are all depressed.
mm.
Because think about, like, I don't think this is a fair, I don't think this is a good question.
Yeah, I mean,
Because the people who know you best tend to be the people who are closest to you.
mm,
And someone who is close to you because they like you enough to get close.
it's true.
Um, I mean, I would say true, because the people who are a big part of my life must like me, or they wouldn't be a big part of my life.
It's a very fair line of reasoning.
I don't think it's a very good question.
True enough. You are extremely sensitive to criticism.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Mm. You get nervous performing in front of people, even when the task is something you know by heart.
Mm, I think it's context sensitive,
Mm.
but I'll say yes, true.
Yeah, if I may draw from experience here, I was actually a little nervous earlier because I was really hoping not to screw up a very good joke.
You played it gorgeous.
Oh, thanks.
I'm sure the first time the sound was great and your slide, everything was in tune. And I know on trombone that piece is a nightmare.
Well, certain abilities that I have really helped me out with that.
It's true. You were built to play trombone.
I guess I was. The people around you seem happier than you do.
Ooh, false.
You often get the urge to touch walls on which wet paint signs are hung.
I would say false. I don't particularly. I have some intrusive thoughts of, like, do the opposite thing, but it's not so often that I would remark upon it.
All right. When you are ill, you become short-tempered and snap at people.
No, I had a lot of chronic illness as a child,
Mm.
and my mom would say that she would always know when I was ready to go back to school, when I would start being, like, mouthy.
Mm.
When I was, like, really sick, I'd be, like, very sweet.
Right.
And she knew it was time to send me back when I was feeling well enough to be a jerk.
Good enough. On important matters, you usually follow your parents' advice, even when you disagree with it.
No, not anymore. I think I'm enough of an independent adult that I don't anymore.
Good enough. It is possible that we live in a world where people can watch our every move.
Oh yeah, absolutely true.
I utilize strike through on can.
Happens.
I utilize strike through on can and replace it with do. Anyway.
Oh.
Hmm.
Not everybody.
Mm.
I think there are some people who are. I mean, like, just look at Great Britain is a surveillance state.
I live life.
You know, for better or for worse.
I live life as if there's a camera to my back 24/7, even when I'm stark ass naked.
Really?
Yep.
So you, like, do a little dance for the camera, right?
Do a little dance, make a little love. Anyway.
Down tonight.
Get down every night. When you're in a quiet place, you get the urge to scream.
False.
It's okay to tell a little white lie if it is guaranteed to bring great personal gain.
I mean, yeah, probably true. I'm sure I've done it. I prefer for my white lying situations to do them so the truth doesn't harm somebody.
I feel like,
But yeah, I'm sure over the course of my life that I've done it for me.
I feel like white lying is only good if somebody else's lie threatens to adversely affect somebody. I mean, sometimes you gotta fight a criminal with crime, like what criminal is going to follow the law, kind of mindset. It is often pointless to try to discuss problems.
I know you really like being truthful.
I mean, I try my best to do so, but there are times when I'm going to go down a well in order to protect people that I care about.
That is fair.
It is often pointless to try to discuss problems with other people.
Boy, that's big. What problems, what people? False.
Yeah, really.
False.
You are easily embarrassed. I feel like this would depend on the person or group of people. And there's one very particular...
I'm going to say false.
There's one very particular example that I could cite, but I'm not going to do it on the air.
Is that when I, lost my mind right before going to bed?
Yeah, that incident.
And, screamed a personal secret and went to bed?
Yeah, that incident.
I wasn't that embarrassed, or I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am way more open about that than I used to be.
Fair enough. Children should be seen and not heard.
Boy, that's tricky. I personally do not much care for children.
Yeah, same.
But I am aware that that it is good for them to be given the freedom to express themselves. So, should is the wrong word. So I'm going to say false. I might be happier if it were seen and not heard, but I'm aware that that is a slightly monstrous point of view. I would not enforce it.
Keep them out of my eyesight and keep them out of my earshot.
Well, no. Okay, yes and no. I will revise your statement. I will keep away from places where children will be in my eyesight and earshot. I'm not going to enforce it on others.
That's fair, too.
Someday we should discuss my, political
Signal's breaking a little bit.
opinion. Oh, man. You missed my declaration about my belief in the extinction of the human race.
Yeah, I believe I did. That might be better.
I'm not joking when I say that I believe in that.
That might be better discussed
No,
off camera,
I believe that. But it might come up over the course of this game. We can talk about it more. Continue.
Fair enough. I was going to suggest that this discussion we have later would be more about your future parenting style, if there is one.
I don't intend for there to be, but I also admit that I am still young and may change my mind.
You find it difficult to break the ice in conversations with people you barely know.
Ooh, false. I'm great at that.
Your parents were strict disciplinarians.
False. My parents were quite balanced.
You can usually judge a person by first impression.
Let me think. I've been doing a lot of meeting people once I got into the workforce. False.
Okay. One way of getting people to treat you fairly is to take an aggressive stance and make them win you over.
Boy, that's so conniving.
I know.
I don't know, because I've never done it, nor do I think I've ever met anyone who's done that. I don't know if it's a way to do that. I don't know if it would work.
Well, I mean, bear in mind, There's no right wrong here. It just goes on personal experience.
I don't know. This actually does seem like a true false statement that I just am not familiar enough with.
Okay, how about this? One way of getting people to treat you fairly is to take an aggressive stance.
Okay, I've never done it, so I guess we'll have to go with false.
Yeah, I was going to say, in that case, put ultimate emphasis on the word you.
Yeah.
You think questions like this are stupid and meaningless.
No, false. I think that one was.
True.
No, false.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, start at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, of course. I must be the author of my own salvation. Laurie H. Huster.
A baby.
A baby. Okay, your first situation. You are in a warm, dark, comfortable place. This has been your place since you became aware that you are alive. It's almost time to enter a different world now. What do you do?
Sorry, I'm eating Easter candy. And it is a bunny that has caramel in it, which means I have to eat the whole thing, or the caramel will get everywhere. I apologize.
So you don't.
It must sound terrible.
So
no,
so
I
you're
am
saying you don't want everything to get sticky.
not in this context. I wouldn't say never. I'm trying to remember stories of my birth. I am told that, like many second children, I was born quite quickly in comparison to my older brother.
All right, so now the question is, how did you come out?
Well, my mom certainly didn't enjoy it.
I mean...
But I think part of the... And I was right near my due date. I was early by 1 day.
Oh, that sucks. We would have shared one.
Yeah, because my cousin has the same birthday as you do, so 1 day after me. And she really wanted a birthday cousin because my big brother was born on her sister's birthday. So she
oh boy,
at least already had a birthday cousin, and Anna wanted one too. I was just a little bit early.
Oh, what a tangled temporal
Mayo,
web we weave.
welcome.
Oh, Mayo,
We're trying to relive my life.
What's up, Mayo? I didn't even notice the chat. How you doing?
He just posted. I also have chat open.
Well, I mean, I have the chat
I'm gonna say peacefully.
You say peacefully?
Yes. Yeah.
Peacefully.
Because it was so fast.
Peacefully we have it. What a nice baby. Are you sure you're ready for this? It can get pretty hectic out there. I'll give you one more chance to try to stay a little longer. Would you like to?
Nope, look out world, Jacqueline has arrived.
Doing well, Mayo.
Great.
That's the spirit. You're an easy delivery. Your mom and dad took special classes to help you. Now go out there and give them heck. You're still too young to swear.
Oh, that's adorable.
Yeah, that's not going to stop me from taking some ad-libs with my narration, because throughout this series I'm going to be reading this shit a lot.
Nothing too sexual until I'm 18, okay?
Well, I can't fully abide by that, and you'll see why in a coming chapter.
Okay.
Happy birthday, and welcome to the world. From now on, life will begin to change rapidly. You will have to learn to accept responsibility, build up your resources, and manage yourself physically and emotionally. The events that transpire over the course of the next few days include your rich Aunt Martha placing a $500 bond in trust for you. You are the most beautiful baby in the maternity ward, and everybody takes your picture. Your grandmother buys you violin slippers and a ballet for you to use in a year or so when you get older. See, we're not even into the first chapter proper, and I'm already fucking this up.
Nobody took my picture in the maternity ward, but the nurses did comment on the fact that I had a nice face. And my mom called them out on it. She's like, you say that to everybody. And they're like, no, there are some babies that are like really ugly.
Well, it's
So
good
I
that
was
there's some.
apparently a good-looking newborn.
Well, it's good that there's some honesty in the ward. Okay, so here's the quick tour. We can check your stats on the upper left window there. So here's where they start after your survey. You are sitting with very strong social skills, strong familial ties, decent intelligence,
This is
decent
all true.
decent physical ability, and I mean your vocational can't really be affected much until later in life. So it's going to sit at 50 for a while. Now, as for your personality traits, you are extremely happy, very thoughtful, very expressive, very gentle, trustworthy enough, somewhat confident, and somewhat calm.
Calm should be lower.
Hmm.
Um,
Well, how do you
and I think I messed up
How so?
because I answered as me, someone who is about 30 years old,
Hmm.
not as how I started.
That's okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a thing.
I guess.
Not too much is going to happen with your money until later. Debt is not going to accrue until later. Acquisitions is a later thing. And the upper right is comparatively useless because you see your age in the upper left anyway. So, you can tell by the pictures there are different categories to different events. So you can see social, intellectual, matters of emotion. I never really was able to figure out the category of this popping box here.
It looks like some sort of crest.
Physical stuff going on a little bit later. So yeah, basically the whole thing forms itself like a tree.
Where do we start? Like in the middle?
From the bottom up.
Oh.
If we're going by age. Generally by anywhere on the tier, and then just keep stepping on up. Let me make sure I remember how to save.
Do we do all of them on one tier, or if I... Ruh-roh.
I was doing a save file. It's all good.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, so
Are we going to do everything?
we're going to have to in order to move on the
Or
chapter.
can I speed run?
I mean, we'll speed it. We have to do every event in order to progress.
Ah.
At least on this chapter. It's not the case with every chapter. You won't get through every event on every tree. But on this one, and I believe the next one, you have to complete the tree because there's no other options around.
All right, let's start with the heart then.
Okay. You don't have very many skills yet. As a matter of fact, life is pretty boring. So you need a mood and an action.
I was a quieter baby than my brother.
Mm-hmm.
They let me suck my thumb instead of using a pacifier. But I was also just overall a better baby than my. I guess I'll go with look around.
You look around and see a large blur about 11 inches away from your eye. Every once in a while, it moves. Hey, wait a minute. Just as you had that thought, it moved again.
Keep looking.
Congratulations! You found your hand. This may not seem like much of a discovery, but it is. You'll have to learn how to control your hands as part of childhood development. And when you're an adolescent, controlling the hands of others will become important too. So basically every story will in some way...
know what that means.
So basically every story will in one way or another affect your stats. And I think the best way to really handle that is to do it on request. Whenever you want to see your stats, we can check them.
Okay. I don't know what controlling the hands of others means.
Really?
Adolescent controlling the hands of others?
Uh-huh.
What years does this game consider adolescence?
Um, Basically teenage years.
Okay,
And that's pretty much why I can't promise not to swear until 18. Or do anything overtly sexual.
I see.
Yes, we do learn how to human as little baboos, Mayo.
Yeah, it's something we take for granted because we don't have like formed memories from doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it must be very difficult.
Indeed. Okay. How do we
Let's
move on
go
from
with
here?
social.
Social.
I always was social.
A woman walks into a room holding a blanket and a bottle with warm white liquid.
Uh, what is angry cooing? I'm really interested in angry cooing.
How could those two choices possibly go together?
That's what I thought.
I will let you go back and try a more sensible set of responses for now, but let me warn you. Choosing responses without thinking about them first might be interpreted as a sign of poor judgment. People who have poor judgment usually wind up having very difficult lives. Please try again.
Wow, what a threat. Okay.
This narrator has moments.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to be like presenting myself as the perfect infant. I guess I was an okay infant. It wasn't until later that I started being kind of a little shit. Let's go with Happy Coo.
As your mom walks towards you, she notices that you're smiling happily in the crib. Just as she steps into the room, the doorbell rings. She assumes that, because you are smiling, you are in no great need of attention. She lays the bottle in the crib and runs off to answer the door. How do you feel about this?
Probably impatient. I mean, I'm an infant. I can't regulate my temperament.
What nerve? Stood up for some door-to-door salesperson. You let out a couple of test cries. There is no response. You gear up for a long, ear-splitting yelp and let it fly. Your mother returns, the insurance man panics, and everybody is happier. Your mom appreciates your helping her out of a jam.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
the best baby.
Nice work.
Everybody loves me. So I had good eyebrows when I was born.
All right. Time for some intellectual development.
Oh boy, let's try it.
Lying on your stomach in the crib, you notice an interesting object an arm's distance away. It has a round shape at the top and a ring on the bottom.
I was pretty grabby.
Okay?
And there's definitely a home video of me chasing a family pet trying to grab its tail. So let's go with determination grasp.
Determination grasp. You have the fighting spirit of your Aunt Martha.
God rest her soul.
You sneak
Oh wait,
and...
no, she wasn't dead.
You sneak and crawl on your belly like a kitten trying to catch an unsuspecting mouse. You reach your destination, grasp the rattle confidently, and drool on it in victory. Intellectual sphere shows a marked increase.
Mayo, Jesus, are you gonna be the one to kill her? Woof.
Oi. Yikes. Spoiler alert, man. Spoiler alert.
Keep drooling.
Keep drooling.
I was also pretty drooly.
Yeah, saliva is something that infants seem to have a never-ending supply of. Manufacturing it will come in handy when someone you don't like picks you up and starts spinning you around over his or her face. Keep practicing.
You don't have to be sorry. I do not actually have an Aunt Martha, so it doesn't sting that much. This was not like a name we could enter in the game for accuracy.
True.
That would be a little dark.
Now, because it specifically mentioned the intellectual sphere, I think it's warranted to search it.
Yeah, sure. Oh, I'm not that smart.
I mean, it is up from before. May as well look at the others too.
That seems the same.
Thoughtfulness has dropped pretty markedly, actually.
I'm very thoughtful. I'm just not very smart.
Confidence has risen.
All right, let's continue.
Okay. Where do we go first?
Heart again.
Okay. You are lying on a soft, furry blanket on the floor of a big room.
Nice.
You're on your back, staring at shadows that sometimes creep across the ceiling. Every so often, Mom or Dad passes by and makes a funny face. Your hands grope in all directions, and your feet pat the floor gently, almost out of your control.
Man, it says something about growing up that all of this sounds great to me.
Makes you miss it, huh?
How old am I again? 5 months?
5 months.
I don't remember when you're supposed to roll over. Let me look up when that milestone is. Hang on.
This takes research,
Baby
guys.
rolling over. Milestone. Oh, 5 months. Yeah, I roll over.
Under what mood?
Oh. Let's go with mad.
Mad roll.
Yeah.
You must be thinking, get me off this cold, hard floor. Unfortunately, you're not strong enough to roll over just yet.
Uh-oh.
You grunt and groan, cry for a few minutes, and then fall asleep.
I'm delayed.
Boy.
My development.
Oh, boy. Well, maybe you'll do better in social spheres.
I hope so. That's all I got.
You're lying down in your crib and are greeted by a nosy neighbor who has a child just your age. The neighbor says, "My, look at that funny little nose." She turns to your mother and adds, "Don't worry, dear. I hear that noses are the last thing to look truly human." Bitch picks you up.
I'm definitely gonna drool on her.
Okay.
It's something at which I excel.
All right.
Can I do that passively without the game yelling at me? I'm a baby.
I know a way to find out.
Okay, let's do it.
An interesting selection. Very sneaky. You quietly store a large amount of saliva in your cheeks and wait to be held directly overhead.
Yeah. Oh, we're drooling on the neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Splash. A gooey stream showers your neighbor's face and hands while you give her a glassy-eyed smile. She places you back in the crib and excuses herself.
Nice.
Sometimes everything works out.
All right, let's follow the tree.
Follow the tree, okay. Beginning with intellectual development.
Indeed.
You are lying down in the crib while your mom and dad are speaking in the other room. You hear their voices, deep and muffled from beyond the door. Why aren't they paying attention to you?
Sad make noise?
You begin to cry. This alarms your parents and is a negative way of attracting attention. Daddy comes in holding a bottle of warm milk, which satisfies you temporarily.
Nice. Negative my ass. It's all I got.
And now for emotional development. You've just awakened from a nice long nap. Your mom comes in the room and wants to hold you.
Sleepy smile. I'm into it.
It's a dog's life, isn't it? Nothing to do all day except eat, sleep, and wonder what life will be like when you're older. Does life really change after 2? Mom is coming closer.
Yeah, attend.
Very good. Eye contact with your caretakers is very reinforcing to them. Parents often mistakenly think that it is the children who need all the attention. But believe me, parents want it too. Your eye contact with her makes her smile. Social and emotional spheres are increasing.
Oh, so I'm the zookeeper here?
I guess so.
Smile back. I think you can smile by that time, like on command.
Smiling makes your mom feel especially loving towards you. She brings your face close to hers, and they touch.
Oh. be still, I guess. I'm not gonna like make out with my mom.
You're probably wondering why your mom's doing this. She wants you to kiss her, but now you've lost the opportunity. But don't worry, you'll have many more chances to learn this extremely valuable skill.
Not making out with my mom, you can't make me.
Yikes, I don't think that's quite where this was going.
I don't. Okay, yeah, I get. Your faces touch and you move your mouth. It wasn't clear. I need to tell me exactly how my mouth is moving.
Toward biting her nose, of course.
Yeah. If
Okay.
Rissa were here and that were an option, she would have taken it.
Hmm. Okay.
Oh boy, I'd love to see Rissa's run of this, but I don't know if we're ever going to get that chance. Although
Eventually,
maybe.
eventually it'll happen. If she ever makes her jump to day shift, we'll definitely do it.
She's thinking it's a couple more weeks.
That's
But I
okay.
don't know if
That's
this would interest her. But I'll run it by her.
show her this video after it's on YouTube and see what she has to say, or
Yeah.
any other of the series. Honestly,
I'll show her this one because I think she likes me the best.
probably.
Well, she really does like Chibi.
Hmm.
I really like Chibi too. She's cool. All right,
Yeah.
Weird Crest.
Uh, what was it? Weird crest.
Weird Crest, please.
Weird crest. It's time to go to Aunt Lucy's house. It's chilly outside, and you need to be dressed in a coverall type suit.
Angry Go Limp. Hell yeah.
You hate this suit, which is a cross between a straitjacket and a sausage wrapping. And to make matters worse, your mother is attempting to put your foot through the pants leg without taking your shoe off. You hit upon the perfect solution. You let your body go limp, and you drop to the table like a 30-pound sack of potatoes. All your limbs go into the suit, but none come out. Mom is frustrated and hands you over to Grandma.
No, I'm still gonna be bad.
Okay. Persisting to act like a little brat is not a very wise choice. How do you expect to motivate Grandma to spoil you if you're not willing to make your mom look foolish in front of her? Would you like to give in now, or make everyone even angrier with you?
How old am I?
Like, not even a year.
No, I was still okay. I'll give in. I didn't really start like being the worst until probably 4 or 5.
Were you ever the sauerkraut?
I was just really bratty. And I didn't get better until arguably college.
Right, so now we got worst, we got brats. Anyway.
Ugh. Horrific.
What can I say? I like a good sausage. Let's move on.
Horrific. A bloodbath of a joke.
Testing the limits isn't always so terrible, and this may have been a good time to find out how tolerant everyone can be when you get into one of these moods. You get into your little suit and are carried out to the car. You suffer no serious long or short-term consequences.
Whew. All right, let's do these intellectuals.
Okay, left or right first?
Right.
Right. You're exploring the playpen and feeling very lively. Like a ballerina, you grab hold of the playpen bars and lift your legs up to the railing.
This is not how I learned to walk. I learned to stand up. There are pictures of this moment. I was in the backyard with probably both of my grandparents. Because somebody had to take the picture. And so my grandparents and my brother and we were sitting on a blanket in the grass. And I gripped onto Grandpa's shirt and I climbed him. And I pulled myself up on Grandpa's shirt. And there's a picture of me standing up, holding onto Grandpa's shirt, and Zach looking very proud and making a victory celebration movement.
That's so precious.
Stop cutting out, headset.
That's really cute, though.
It's pretty cute. I'm glad there's a picture. I was pretty cute. I'm gonna go determined.
Hmm.
Take some steps if I don't let go.
Okay. You are showing signs of early confidence, mixed with just the right amount of risk-taking. Even the most confident of sorts meets with the occasional flop, which is literally what you do. You pick yourself up for a second try and have limited success. 2 small steps for baby, 1 giant step for baby kind.
Middle intellectual then.
Now, because this was asked, so you
I'm
just hit
1.
1 year. At the time that you asked the question, you were at 10 months. Each story here adds 1 month onto your age, and that number will go up for most in later chapters.
Okay.
Since we're here,
Social butterfly.
familial has strengthened. Social's actually weakened a little bit. Not much, but a little. Happiness went way down. Gentleness has hit the shitter a bit.
This is true. I was not.
Confidence has risen. Thoughtfulness has come back up. Happiness has dropped some.
I probably wasn't that thoughtful at the time. That's something that I acquired later.
Indeed. And saving there. And my mistake I said earlier about a run that was coming into adolescence, that was Chibis Run. She's actually coming out of adolescence when she picks up.
Okay.
You're quietly playing with your mother's pocketbook. She's not around. Now look, it opens up easily.
Oh, I loved playing with my mom's purse. Inquisitive. Look touch empty.
You pluck out some of the more interesting looking items, tasting 1 or 2 as you go along. They're definitely not for eating. Now you know Mom will be pleased with how nice you'll look after you put some of her lipstick on.
Okay, fine. That was it. Whatever.
I guess so.
Continue. Follow the tree.
Okay. Mom and Dad are entertaining some friends while you are minding your own business, sitting quietly in a corner of the room. Suddenly, a man with a big nose and a shiny head puts his face right up to yours and says something in a loud voice.
I have no personal experience or stories of such a thing. But me sitting here right now, being around 30, that freaks me out a little. I'm gonna go with hair.
Okay.
I don't think I started hitting yet. I don't know if I would hit strangers. Let's go with Scream.
Wow! Your eyes bulge and your heart beats fast. You were startled. This is your first encounter with a person who is less than delicate in the social sense. Your dad comforts you, and your mom leads the man back to bother the adults.
Continue.
You're sitting in your high chair and eating your lunch, which consists of crackers, strained peas, and a mug of milk. You're just learning how to eat with utensils.
I don't think I was angry yet. Curious, then. Let's try with the spoon.
First, you put the back end of the spoon in your mouth. Then you lift the cup with both hands and try blowing through the spoon as if it were a straw. Nothing happens.
Yeah, sounds about right. Is there anything else to do?
Would you like to find out?
You know, I'm gonna say keep playing because I didn't succeed.
Curiosity and persistence are early signs of an inventive personality. One day during late childhood, you may find yourself attempting to rewire the electric hairdryer and have a shocking experience. But for now, what do you do?
I guess stir.
It makes bubbles. It bounces out of the cup and hits you in the face. It causes the cup to fly off the tray and spill all over the floor. This is great. Your mother fails to understand the true significance of your discoveries, but acts surprisingly tolerant.
My mom is the best. Could I have died yet?
No.
Cool. Let's do it.
Okay. While being taken to the park, your dad meets an old college buddy who is wheeling around a baby about your age. As the two dads talk, you casually begin to eye the baby in the other carriage.
So what? I'm about like a year and a half?
Probably somewhere around there, yeah.
Let's go with indifferent for now. Probably do nothing.
Snob. You're able to get away with these terrible manners now, but soon you will find that one must learn how to socialize properly. Yeah,
That's right,
Mayo,
only
you're
one
not...
at a time.
Mayo, other people who have been part of this series before have had that mindset.
Oh, jeez.
Well, here's another one of those second chance moments, should you decide to take it.
I guess become friendlier. I don't really turn into a snob until college.
Doesn't work. Jeez, this kid is a crybaby. You're learning that sometimes, no matter how nice you are to some people, they just don't appreciate it. Your dad moves you away from the other baby and gives you a cookie to keep you occupied. At least he appreciates your empathy. Up until this point in life, Weasley Wabbit, your stuffed toy, has been one of your best friends. You take him everywhere with you, but he's beginning to get on in years. One of his ears is torn off, and a recent eye injury has made his face look a little lopsided. Your mother suggests that Weasley be retired, and then you wake up one day to discover that Weasley has been moved from the place where you last spotted him.
Oh, freak the fuck out. Panicky cry.
How could you have given up on Weasley so soon? I know you're upset, but this is no time to panic.
Oh, it's the exact right time to panic. Go get Mom! Mom!
You confront Mom with the fact that Weasley was not in the spot where he was last deposited. She claims not to have seen him either. You satisfied with this?
No. I'm crying.
Wisely, you persist. This time she tells you that Weasley left because he wanted to be with friends who were more like him. She tells you that next week you'll have a new visitor, a brand new friend who will be just as nice as Weasley. You good?
If I'm that young, I think I'm still pretty attached to individual toys. I don't think I'm satisfied.
Bravo. Don't fall for that crock of shit. Parents are great at fabricating stories like this when they make mistakes. You won't get Weasley back, but your intelligence and perseverance in this situation make it harder for your parents to make up stories to cover their mistakes. Okay, here's an interesting decision.
Let's go with health.
Go with health. You are alone in the kitchen and begin exploring the closets and refrigerator.
This is how I could die. Pantry first. And adventurous.
You swing the pantry door open and see all the beautifully colored jars, boxes, and bottles. One jar looks particularly pretty. It is full of shiny and brown and It is full of shiny and brown and liquid.
Yeah.
You unscrew the cap and smell what is inside. It smells sweet.
I'd probably taste it.
Tastes good.
I'm gonna keep tasting it. Uh-oh.
It tastes so good that you drink a large portion of it. After a while, your stomach begins to feel queasy and upset. You get dizzy and begin to feel faint. You call out for some help, but no one seems to hear you. The liquid in the bottle was poison. An ambulance comes to take you to the hospital where your stomach gets pumped. You're only slightly aware of what's going on, but know that your parents are crying and looking frightened. The doctors try hard to clean your stomach, but you drank a large amount of highly toxic cleaning fluid. Your stomach and intestines are badly burned. You barely survive the experience. Your parents are shocked and badly traumatized.
Well,
You got lucky with that coin flip.
it's a coin flip. I could have died.
Yep. But here are the consequences.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
I don't start being really sick in real life until I was 9.
Mm. Your other spheres are great, but your body is pretty screwed.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to stay screwed for a good long time to come now.
Bummer.
But you lived, so...
In real life, my parents did a much better job at baby-proofing their home.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, on we go. You are touching something smooth and shiny. You pat it with your hand a few times.
Sounds good. Passive touching? I'm not, like, particularly moved by the experience.
Passive touching.
Huh.
Your explorations are only half-hearted. You failed to make the discovery that you're touching a mirror and that there is a reflection of you in it.
Alright. Snarky. Go to the heart.
Your mom announces to you during a heart-to-heart talk that it is time for you to give up the bottle and drink from a glass like a big girl.
I was very attached to the bottle. So probably angry, stubborn, and resist, refuse.
How are you going to show your resistance?
I'm
I enjoy this selection.
definitely not going to throw the bottle because I want it.
Hmm.
I was a manipulator. I'd cry.
Crying makes your mom feel guilty, but it only proves to her that you are immature and need to let go of some babyish things, like the bottle. You're too young to explain to her that you are a baby.
Oh man, I sucked my thumb a lot as a kid. It was a trial to get me to stop.
Mm.
We tried a lot of different things. There was bribery, there was punishment, there was positive and negative reinforcement. We just couldn't get it until 2 different things. One, they promised me that our family would get an actual kitten, like not a stuffed animal, a real one.
Aww.
And that I don't think by itself would have been enough because I've always had terrible self-control.
Mm.
The thing that really did it was a product called Don't. And Don't was a very bad tasting liquid that you painted on your thumbnail like clear nail polish.
Mm.
And it smelled pretty bad and tasted really chemically, like super, super bitter. Like tasted like it was bad for you. And it stayed in your mouth for a long time. So you would like put your hand to your mouth and just smell that it was bad, and that was usually enough to get you to not do it. But boy, if you ever made the mistake, you had to think about it for a while. So I'm gonna go with suck my thumb because that is super true.
I've heard of some families that use chili flakes for that same purpose. It works selectively. If the kid likes spicy food, it's not going to deter them.
Yeah. And you can, I don't know, you can do damage with capsaicin if you're not careful.
Mm. This can be the dependent of a beginning personality. It can also give you warts.
Not true.
What? Yeah, somebody's on crack here. You are a guest at your friend Missy's house. Her mom gives you both a box of crayons and 2 pieces of paper.
paper, artistic.
You're behaving yourself very nicely so far. You draw a pretty picture.
Nice.
Let's,
My own mom.
let's hear it, Mayo. A very nice gesture. You can have a good time at somebody's house for a short while, but there's no place like home. Oh, not much going on in this region of the tree, huh?
Indeed.
Okay, so how about this? You are sitting in a large place and a furry man walks up to you. He's walking around you in circles.
Is it a dog?
Is that so?
So I got a wart on my hand, but it was not on my thumbs. It was on a completely different finger. Warts are caused by a virus. I don't know what that has anything to do with,
Coincidental transmission, maybe.
I guess if the virus is, like, on something you've ingested and you have, like, a sore on your thumb.
I mean, there's possibilities, all right. The virus could have been in the saliva.
Yeah, from something that you've eaten.
So I could see that. So I could see the possibility that it would cause warts, but not out of the direct action of sucking.
Yeah, I don't. It's not the sucking. I think it's putting in your mouth, maybe, if it's anything like that. I'm gonna go with.
That'd be where I go with it. Yeah.
By this time, I think I have been exposed to dog. I'm gonna go with curious noises.
You make curious noises, do you?
Yes.
You yell out to the furry man, and he walks over to you. He makes a noise that sounds like. Whoop! Then he sits on your leg.
Sounds great.
So what do you do?
Grab him by the head. I was grabby.
You grab his head between your two hands. Hey, now that man is licking you all over the face. Mommy says it's kissing you. How adventurous were you with your tongue?
I think I wouldn't have enjoyed being licked. I'm gonna go push.
This man is heavy. He looks back at you while you're pushing him off and blows his nose right in your face.
Yeah.
Puppy. You're in a large department store waiting in line, and there is an extremely well-endowed woman standing in front of you. She smiles. It looks like they may be an interesting person. She may be an interesting person to talk to. Not the breasts, mind you, the woman.
Yeah. I was pretty shy. Shy, quiet.
This lady begins to ask you questions. We do.
That's usually on the feet.
They're usually harder, rougher kind of thing, right?
Maybe that's limited to like plantar warts,
Mm.
which are warts that you get on your feet. Let me look it up.
This lady begins to ask you questions. You are shy and a little bit afraid of her, and she begins to chat with your mom. Are you beginning to feel more friendly to her?
Oh, corns are calluses.
Okay.
Calluses, the bottom of your feet. Corns are on the top or between your toes, caused by rubbing your toes against your shoes.
This all sounds painful.
Yeah, I feel better.
Okay. Which question did you want to ask her? Okay, I enjoy this.
Doggy, probably. Because I just had the dog experience. It's probably on my mind.
Mm-hmm. No, no doggy. Only a cat. You inform her that Daddy said that that's what they...
Sweet Jesus. My dad's not a fucking racist.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yikes.
You want to try that again?
No, I mean, it happened. Why are they?
Uh, do you wanna ask something else?
This back in time shit. Um, they're all terrible. I didn't know that the dog is such a good question. I guess stop asking questions. This is a fucking trap.
Yeah, you've caused your mother enough embarrassment for one day.
I have?
Apparently.
Oh, I could. So that happened, and I could ask a second?
Yeah, that's what it said. Did you want to ask something else?
Oh, I thought it was you can not do that and ask a different one.
No, no, it didn't say
Okay,
that. Ah, well. Save it up and onward.
indeed.
You are alone in your parents' bedroom. There's a shiny silver quarter on the table.
It's fucking mine, is what it is. Dishonest, take the quarter.
It's questionable whether a child your age can tell whether something like this is truly right or wrong. You have a vague sense that you shouldn't have picked it up, and your mother sees you stash something in your pocket. She asks what, and you say,
If I think it's wrong, I would have lied. I would say nothing.
Her suspicion is immediately confirmed. She pries your hand open and reveals the silver coin. You look sheepish. Your knowledge of mine and yours is still rather primitive. She tries to explain why what you've done is wrong, but you may still be too young to understand.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, not really, no.
That's super true. It doesn't matter, just pick one.
I don't get to make that decision. It's not my game.
Oh my god, the left.
Daddy says it's time to go to bed.
I have specific memories of this. Asked to stay up a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
No, I was like really sweet about it. It's like really like manipulative, trying to get what I want.
Hmm.
I guess tired because I wasn't.
Yeah, you might have to go with the one that's not a direct opposite. So tired and has to stay up, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Dad explains how tired you are and what a busy day it will be tomorrow. The same old line. He offers to carry you. Now, when you get to the bedroom, what do you do?
Story, I guess.
It did, Mayo, but nowadays it's kind of a, it's kind of
And
just
to
a
me,
thing
it's like
now
I've
at the
done
ages
something
we're
wrong.
at, right? And I totally lost your answer in that. What was it?
Story.
The story. Okay. You are so tired that the murmur of words puts you right to sleep. You don't even remember what the story was about. It's Saturday morning, and Mom asks you to help with some chores. But the Susie Fantastic Cartoon Hour has just begun.
Oh, I was the worst. This is where I start being really bratty. So I'm gonna go cranky. Tell mom.
You say,
I'm not gonna do that.
you gotta do it.
I didn't have a lisp as a child.
It's your character.
Mom! Susie's on the TV now!
Okay, good enough. Mom says, come on, sweetie. Help me in the kitchen a little.
Mom, I was aggressively bratty. When I was a teenager, I was quietly bratty.
Come on, you gotta have some. You gotta put some feeling behind it.
Until I was yelling, no, I have neighbors.
Oh, fine.
I
Mom
live in
sees
an
your
apartment. I share walls.
Mom sees your stubbornness and stops asking you. All she wanted was a little company. You acted very selfishly. She's in the
Yep.
kitchen now.
Yep.
If you want to change your mind.
Oh no, keep watching. I was not a good little kid.
This Susie Fantastic is a repeat. So there.
Huh. Yes. Follow the tree, please.
Mm-hmm. You are in a sandbox playing with your favorite toy. An older girl pulls it away from you and screams, "Mine!"
Oh boy. Angry grab it back.
The child seems much stronger than you. She mandible claws you and tries to push you away, holding the toy above your head.
I don't think I ever had this specific situation. Probably run and tell.
She was much bigger than you. You might have gotten hurt. From a safe distance, you watch her put your toy down and go play someplace else. You want to go back for it?
Yeah.
The girl comes back and reclaims your toy. You gonna fight?
Yeah. I'm gonna lose because I'm a fucking sickly kid.
You grab for the toy and are scratched by the girl. Your arm starts to bleed, but you pull hard and run to your mother for safety.
How am I doing?
I mean, considering
I'm gonna die.
Considering
if
what the state
physical
of your...
reaches 0, do I die?
I've never seen it get to 0, so I don't know. I don't know if that can even be.
I don't know, like Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, considering the state of your body and the I mean, recovery would not be reflected on that stat, so...
Oof.
Oh, gentleness took monster tank from the beginning.
Yep, bad kid. I wasn't a bad kid. Like, this is happening way earlier. But, oh well.
Time to feed the fish. You pinch a small amount of fish food between your fingers and tap on the glass. But there is no sign of Gabriella.
Confused. Look for?
You put your hand in the fishbowl and look for Gabriella. She's stuck under a rock. She's stiff and her eyes are puffed out. You think she might be sick.
Call for mom. Like, my parents did, like, a good job of teaching me, like, pet responsibility. So I probably would have gotten the talk of, like, hey, don't take the fish out. It needs to be in there.
Gabby floats up to the surface from under a big gray rock. Her eye seems very puffy and her body is stiff. You're relieved to see she hasn't jumped out of the bowl.
Ask mom about Gabby.
I think we all know where this is going by now.
I'm interested to see if mom tells me the truth.
Mom stutters through the answers to your questions. She's uncomfortable and sad. Mom explains that Gabby can't swim anymore, that she's dead, and that she's gone away. But how can that be? She's right there.
Oh, I have lines. What is dead?
You wonder. You are confused. Mom says that Gabby has to be taken out of the bowl.
Yikes.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, my parents wouldn't have let me do probably either of those things, but at least flush is a little bit more reasonable.
You want to do that?
Yeah.
Even though Mom has on a sad face, you giggle at the thought of Gabby swimming in the bowl. You wonder if she'll tickle you the next time you go to the bathroom. You don't get a real laugh out of this, but you don't know what else to do.
Follow the tree.
Follow the tree. You are in the back seat of the car during a very long ride.
This is before I had a Game Boy, so this would have been active ask questions.
Active and ask questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Mayo, go have dinner. It's like 9:20.
What do you want to ask?
Where are we going?
Mom explains that the family is taking a trip to the mountains. She takes out a book that has pictures of mountains and animals. She points to one with stripes and asks, "What is this?" Now, what do you say?
I don't know. A place in the mountains? A tiger, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. Such a smart baby.
Physical.
Yes. You are eating at the house of one of your parents' friends. You are told by your mother to be on your best behavior. Something you ate has disagreed with you, and you now feel very sick. There's only one
I
mood,
gotta be
so,
queasy.
yeah.
Call Mom.
Mom puts you off for a bit. You can't say you didn't try to warn her. You didn't try to warn her. Your stomach rumbles and...
Blech.
and you barely spit up on anything at all. However, Mom is angry at herself and rather embarrassed.
This is not my problem.
Sorry, Mayo, there was no death to be had there.
Let's do the crest and one more physical and see if we can get him something exciting.
Okay. You're still not completely familiar with using the toilet. It is still quite fascinating to you. You have just finished and have cleaned yourself like a big girl.
Hell yeah. Oh, Mayo, thanks. Probably content toilet paper?
Content toilet paper?
Yeah. I was super proud about.
No.
What? Alright, content leave. Jeez.
You have resisted a strong temptation. It's not quite how it happened, but okay. You deserve a cookie. Hey, there's some on the table over there. Would you like to take one?
Yeah, I absolutely would have done that.
You didn't ask permission first. You get caught with your hand in the cookie jar. But it's hard for a child your age to be perfect. Don't sweat it.
Let's do that. Skip up to the health.
Okay. The phone rings while Daddy is ironing his shirt. He must leave you alone in the room with the iron. Oh, no.
Cautious quietly. My parents were good about stuff like that.
Dad realizes that you're alone with the hot iron and calls you into him. You run into the room and trip over the iron cord. The iron falls on the floor and burns a hole in the carpet. It is not your fault.
All right.
This one would not have been fatal, but you dodged another coin flip.
Could it have been...
But then again, it can't do much worse to your physical than has already been done.
All right, continue on the tree.
Yes. It's Dad's birthday, and you want to make him breakfast. Hmm? Uh-oh. Do we lose wit? Every once in a while this happens where our headset loses signal.
Am I back?
I hear you now.
Hooray! Practical mom. I was not allowed to use the stove until I was older.
Practical mom. Oh, geez. Have you had that happen?
No, he's talking about the fiction in which we find ourselves.
Okay, good, good. I wasn't sure because that would be That would suck. It
That'd
would
also be
probably.
shockingly coincidental.
Hmm. I mean, I'm sure somebody in the world has had an accident with an iron at some point in their lives.
Oh yeah.
Mom won't let you
There's a
do.
joke about it.
Hmm. Mom won't let you do exactly what you want, but she does help you make Dad a nice breakfast, which makes him feel terrific.
That's a word we don't use anymore, huh?
Not much. Mom must get her teeth fixed, and you must go with her to the dentist. You sit in the waiting room for a very, very long time. Long enough that Mom has to run out and put money in the meter. She sits you on the floor, gives you a magazine to leaf through, and tells you to behave. Okie doke.
Thanks, Mayo.
Thanks,
Enjoy
Mayo.
your food.
Yeah, we'll be going for another half hour or so.
Yeah, we wrap up at 10.
Yep.
So depending on what you're cooking.
Mm. Yes, what's to do in the dentist's office?
Our dentist had a lot of good toys in the waiting room.
Mm.
So I think I would have been okay. Patient grab.
Your coordination isn't terrific. As you lift the magazine, the cover tears with a loud rip. The lady spies you from the corner of her eye and gives you a dirty look.
Ooh, I was famous for sticking my tongue out and blowing raspberries. How old am I? I guess well, this is all starting very young, but yeah, I used to do that a lot.
2-point high, I believe.
Yeah, no, yeah.
So yeah.
I was not a good kid, and I feel really guilty about it.
So do you give her tongue?
Yeah, don't say that. That's gross.
You learned how to make that noise from TV. The lady tells your mother that you are disrespectful, which causes her embarrassment. You hear her mutter some of the bad words under her breath.
Yeah. I would say climb up. I wasn't cussing yet.
I know what I would have done in this situation. And it wasn't this.
No, I wasn't there yet. Couple more years.
Good. Climbing up on Mom's lap makes her feel like the two of you are a team. This is an important mother-daughter bond that will come in handy if you do something really stupid later. Oh, we didn't get through the whole tree. Huh. Well, never mind. I guess I was mistaken, and it's been too long since I last did this chapter of the series. But anyway, through infancy, here's how we're doing so far. Your family life has been positive and nurturing, and as a result, you have begun to form the critical bonds that are important during this phase in life.
That's pretty accurate.
Physically, you haven't been very healthy, but what's to be...
I mean, I used to get pneumonia a lot, but nothing like internal, chemical burns.
I mean, you were literally a coin flip away from death, so...
Yeah.
Socially, during this phase in life, nothing much is really expected of you. After all, you're still much too young to throw a successful cocktail party. And frankly, anyone who still dribbles on herself probably wouldn't make the ideal dinner guest. However, by now, there are some things you should have mastered. Your progress in this area shows... You have been the type of child that Mom could trust in department stores.
No.
Now, regarding your emotional and personality development, you're a fairly trustworthy little girl, making your share of exploratory excursions into the world of the unknown and forbidden. You know, like the bathroom under the kitchen sink and what have you.
Yeah, I almost died.
Yes. Your folks could trust you in most cases, but when all of the chocolates have one bite taken out of them, it's a fair guess whose teeth marks have made such jagged impressions. Your thoughtfulness characteristic really doesn't count for much in this phase of life. Most children often find themselves at the mercy of their whims and their impulses. You're allowed to be cranky now. People will tolerate it much better than when you're a teenager. Then your whining and carrying on will seem more objectionable.
Yep, not a stellar teen either.
Well, one thing about your character that has a tendency to put people off is your aggressiveness.
Yep.
You're the kind of baby who likes to pull on loose pieces of clothing, hair, and any bulbous, fleshy object that comes within your reach.
Jesus Christ.
You are going to have to learn the meaning of make nice. Well, that wraps up your status for the very first years in life. I hope you like yourself, but if not, you can always try to improve in the years to come. There is plenty of time. So we move on to childhood. Come, let's to bed, says Sleepyhead. Tarry a while, says Slow. Put on the pot, says Greedy Gut. We'll sup before we go. Okay.
Alright,
So,
let's do it all.
4 asks to-
4. Okay, this is where I start to become a real fucking brat.
Yep, so fast forward to the 4-year mark.
Yep, pretty standard from last time.
Yeah, gentleness has taken a far cry shit.
Yep, it's only gonna get worse.
Trustworthiness has gone down some. Calmness really has not changed much since the start of this. Confidence has taken a boost. Okay, so you want to start where now?
Oh, the heart.
On the heart? Right there, okay.
Yes, please.
Mom has just taken a job that requires her to be away in the morning and early afternoon, and she decides to enroll you in a nursery school program. Now, when you get there, you are greeted by a lady with very skinny legs and large, round glasses. There are children playing with buckets of sand, building blocks, and other toys. There's a small girl sitting in a corner with tears streaming from her eyes. She has a runny nose and red cheeks from crying. All right, so how bad a kid were you?
Jesus. I'm gonna go with cry because I remember when my mom had to go back to work
I was very similar with my dad.
and I didn't like it. So, you know, I would wait for, like, when my grandma would babysit us, I would wait at the front window,
Yeah, I
kneeling
was.
on the couch to the point where, and like lean on the back of the couch to the point where that couch's back cushions had divots in it for my arms for the rest of that couch's life.
Yeah, I was very much like that with my dad.
Sad cry.
Mommy has some nerve getting a job and palming you off on this nursery school.
Yeah.
The lady with the skinny legs tries to calm you down. So how do you proceed?
I was sad about it for a long time. I didn't like cry anymore, but I was like really invested in the idea of her coming home. So we're gonna do one more keep crying.
The more she tries to shush you, the louder you wail. Every once in a while, you let out a heart-wrenching "ma" for dramatic effect. Nicely done. Now what?
Then I adjust.
After you calm down, you realize that this really isn't so bad after all. You keep yourself busy for the rest of the day. When Mom comes back, you act as if you've barely missed her at all.
Oh, that's
Wow.
not true.
Well, okay.
Mom always said that she felt guilty pretty much every time.
All right. All right. How do we proceed here?
Bottom up.
Bottom up? Okay, here we go.
Yes, please.
Your mother has just informed you that a new pile of clothes has arrived from Aunt Doris's house. Her daughter, Henrietta, has been giving you her disgusting, putrid, skeevy, gross, ugly, grungy, moth-eaten, flea-bitten, nerdy hand-me-downs for years. This batch contains a pink flowered pair of pants. The flowers are bright green and yellow. A blue and orange ruffled blouse, and a dress that looks like it was donated to the Salvation Army 300 years ago. My.
Mad refuse.
What are you going to do? Somebody put some creative writing into this.
Yeah, no, I was terrible. We're gonna go with the big one.
The full-fledged fit.
Yeah.
The deluxe package, including yelling, screaming, stomping your feet, and acting like a martyr. You work yourself into a rage and then throw yourself into a fit that would make any Tasmanian devil envious. After you're through, you stand there panting and wheezing, the tears streaming down your face, nicely finishing the effect. Your mother, calmer than you would expect her to be, throws you off guard by not throwing a correspondingly violent counterfeit.
I enjoy that.
Are you finished? She asks calmly.
Oh, that would have made me so mad.
Then get into your room and don't come out until you are ready to rejoin the rest of civilization. Do you understand me? Now go!
That is not how I was grounded. We had timeout, and timeout was sitting on the steps.
Boy, oh boy. Okay. So, which heart?
Left to right.
Left to right. Your mother is in the bathtub taking a nice relaxing bath. You're playing quietly in your room when all of a sudden the doorbell rings. Mom doesn't seem to hear it. We know what a bad idea this would be in this day and age. So tell Mom
Mom. I don't know about the mood. Nonchalant, I guess?
Like a good little girl, you tell Mom that the doorbell is ringing. She tells you to ask, "Who is it?" without opening the door. You learn the valuable lesson of not allowing strangers into your home, which makes you smarter.
It's not what I need. I need to not be dying of chemical burns.
Well, your mother has just reminded you that it is time to practice your piano lessons.
I had not yet started taking piano lessons by that time. Complain. It's at the point where I would throw a tantrum because I was told to do basically anything.
So your mood being...
Mad, complain.
Yeah.
Why do I...
Why do
no,
you
that's
have
yours.
Why do you have to take these stupid piano lessons? You have to take your stupid piano lessons because your father and I paid a fortune for this piano and the lessons that went with it because of your begging. Now practice. You have a recital next week. You practice some scales and then get down to serious business. You know you have the recitals, so how do you think you're going to do?
My brother and I both immediately quit piano lessons. The word recital was mentioned. We did not want to perform. And we didn't. I didn't perform my first concert. Well, like we had choir in elementary school and kindergarten,
But not until you're...
but we never played an instrument until we were like 10 years old.
So not until your flute, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So you'll say... Signal went.
Because I wouldn't have practiced. I'm a bad kid.
Okay. Not very confident, huh? Well, on the night of your recital, everyone says you did a wonderful job. And do you believe them?
How old am I? Like 4.5?
Somewhere around there.
Maybe. I might have believed them. I'll go with yes.
That's better. You gotta start thinking positively.
Left to right.
An exciting movie is on television. The whole family is in the living room watching it. You go to get a drink of water and return to find Mommy sitting in your spot next to Daddy. Oh, boy. The implications of this story.
I wouldn't have done either of those things. I would have, like, cried or gotten mad. Or I might have sulked. So let's do the defeated quietly a corner, and I may have tried to be dramatic enough to get someone to ask me, like, what was wrong.
You know, when you grow up, you'll probably need to take an assertiveness training course. You miss most of the movie, laughing only when everybody else laughs. The dog comes over and sits by your leg. What do you... Oh.
Jiminy crickets, I pet the dog.
No.
I'm a bad kid, but I'm not a monster.
Oh. You can always rely on faithful Goodo to make you feel important and worthwhile. The phone rings. Mom has to get
Whoever
up.
named the dog for this game should be fired. That's not a thing.
The phone rings and Mom has to get up. You can regain your territory next to Dad, who lifts you up onto his lap. Well, that worked out okay, I think, at the end. Your mom has promised that she'll fix your doll's torn arm. She's talking on the phone, not really doing anything. So now seems like a good time to remind her.
Oh, annoying. Annoying tapping.
You tap Mom rapidly on the leg and say, Mom, 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 next to her ear, but doesn't seem to pay you much mind.
Dad's at work, so I'm gonna shake.
You say,
Oh, you did it last time. Mom! Mom!
yeah, but I was sparing you from an extremely loud yell. You move her leg back.
Not yelling.
You move her back and forth. Her leg is very heavy. All of a sudden, she gives you the look, puts her hand over the phone and says, What do you want? In a very loud whisper.
I'd say something.
What do you want to ask? Forget it is an old standard of mine. Basically if that's how you're going to be.
Fix my doll now, I guess. The second one.
Okay. Please, sweetie, don't bother me. I'm talking on the phone right now. Ask me again later. Not a very good mother right there.
No, I mean...
Yeah, but don't bother me? You could have verbaged that just a little bit better.
I suppose.
So what do you do?
5 minutes.
Well, your perseverance will come in handy in many situations. Unfortunately, this is definitely not one of them. Mom makes sure that her hand is really wrapped tight around the mouthpiece. She says, No! In a way that shakes the whole house. You may cry a little here if you feel you have to, but it won't help.
Oh, I would definitely cry. Weird crest.
Soon after you sit down for dinner, your mother announces that the vegetable of the day is Brussels sprouts. Yay!
I did not start liking Brussels sprouts until after this age.
I did not start liking Brussels sprouts until...
Does that mean you have yet to like Brussels sprouts?
Uh-huh.
They are a pretty strong taste.
Mm.
You are not the only person in my life who still does not eat Brussels sprouts.
I mean, for the most part, I just don't eat vegetables. Only if they're, like, in or on something.
You're not the only person in my life that doesn't eat vegetables.
Mm.
Probably the closest to the action would be disgust finger mouth.
Disgust, finger mouth. Your action is a bold and flagrant protest against authority and Brussels sprouts alike. It is also, however, a little bit overstated. You might want to save these kinds of responses for issues that'll have a more powerful influence on your life.
Let's go with another life or death.
Mm-hmm. You arrive at the dentist office and discover that you have 4 rather large cavities that need filling.
Oh, fright and scream.
The dentist says, "This won't hurt a bit. Be a big girl and open wide." The drill sounds like an angry insect. There are tubes hanging out of both corners of your mouth. One of them seems to be sucking out that little piece underneath your tongue. The dentist says, "Now that's not too bad, is it?"
No.
The dentist pays you no mind and keeps drilling anyway, making idle conversation while you drool all over yourself. On your way out, you notice a large magic marker, and a blank white wall. Second chances.
No, I wouldn't do that.
So no, do nothing. Okay. You're getting to realize that getting the last laugh now might mean risking the wrath of Dr. Yanker on your next visit.
Rough name.
Yeah. I guess we know what he does.
Oof. Too real.
Hmm.
There is more than one story of dentists performing sexual assault while their patients were under anesthetic.
Okay, that's not quite where my mind went, but okay.
And didn't say it was him he was yanking.
Ooh. Oh. One of your son's playmates is the son of your mother's friend. His name is Vincent. One day, while you and Vincent are alone, you become very curious about one another, and Vincent suggests playing a make-believe game of doctor.
I have no memory of ever doing this.
Good.
Can I boldly say let's play house instead? Because I liked playing house. And I was also, like, pretty assertive as a kid and, like, wanted my friends to do what I wanted to do. No? Okay,
No.
I guess shyly.
Shyly play house?
Yep.
Yeah, doctor can only lead to one place. And you're not ready for it yet. Vincent replies, "Okay, you are mommy who gets very sick and has to go to the doctor." Oh. Well, the boy's got a good roundabout game.
Yeah. Rather be sick, I guess. It's kind of bullshit, I would say.
Vincent says, "You are a big baby. I don't want to play with you anymore," and storms off in a huff. All right, how about this?
Life and death?
While trying to think of what to do one day, you notice that you could use a nice haircut. Mommy's favorite pair of shiny scissors is lying out on the table, and you're sure you could do the job yourself. Oh no.
I cut my bangs once.
And you still have both eyes to tell the tale, right?
Yeah, I would clip a little piece, probably curious.
Yeah, this isn't quite as easy as it looks. You pull up a long strand of hair and listen to the sound of the scissors going, then closing with a loud sound. Suddenly, your mother is aroused by the lack of commotion, usually accompanying sessions of your solitary play. "What are you doing, young lady?" Your career as a hairstylist has suffered an early blow. Oops. Okay. Soap opera star Rex Xavier de la Punda, Dr. Reynaldo Bedini on Animal Hospital, will be appearing at a record store in town to sign autographs and look for a child actress to play a kidnapped victim in an upcoming episode. Every one of your friends will be there, especially Christine Hobbs, who has taken 6 years of acting and ballet. This is finally your chance to meet the hunk of all hunks. If only your mom would drive you.
How old am I?
Probably 6 now.
But I was a beggar. I would hysterically beg.
Your mother sees that you're really excited about going. She drives you there and pushes you through the crowd surrounding Ray. That's what all his leading ladies call him. He's beautiful, though he does look quite a bit shorter than you'd imagined. Okay, this is more tween shit than anything else.
Nothing. I'd probably get shy.
He signs your autograph, kisses your hand, and then motions to the next girl. Okay. Yeah, 6.5.
Strange.
Probably 6'4", 6'5" at the time that you did that. Body's not going to cover without deliberate stat raising.
Yeah.
Ooh, calmness and gentleness are way further down.
Yep.
Is this beginning to shape like you?
Yeah, I carry around a lot of guilt about my childhood. I find this a strange mix between upsetting and cathartic.
What, this whole thing?
Yes.
You don't have to proceed with it any further than the one night.
No, we should. It's so well balanced that I'm not too upset by it.
Okay. Well, there's a lot more going on in this chapter, so if necessary, we can break once the 10 o'clock mark hits.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Like wherever we are. Okay, here we go. At school, all of your friends are talking about a television program that you could not stay up to watch. A friend asks if you saw it.
No. Embarrassed wasn't allowed?
At least you were honest. They tease you for a bit, but then they leave you alone. You've just been ordered to bed by your parents in the middle of a favorite television show.
Haha.
We've been down this road before, sort of.
Angry beg.
Doesn't sound like begging when you're angry. Instead, It sounds like you're demanding more time.
Yep.
Your mother sends you off to bed with a stern lecture on how to speak to your parents. All right, left. Are we going to continue with the left to right convention?
Yeah.
Okay. There's one more ice pop in the freezer that's being saved for another family member, but your mouth waters at the thought of this cool, tasty treat.
Six, I was probably still pulling stuff like this. I'm gonna go hungry bite.
Well, as you might have expected, someone sees the mangled ice pop and is completely grossed out by the idea that he would have to put his lips on something that you have slobbered on. What do you do?
Well, no one since 1962 has said pickle puss.
Jeez.
And I absolutely would not go to the store and buy one. So it's closer to the pickle puss.
Well, what abouts would you have said instead of pickle puss?
I wouldn't have, serves you right. I would have just been, pretty unapologetic.
Okay.
I probably would have said sorry, but not really meant it.
Well, this starts a family fight. What do you do at the end of it?
I'd say sorry.
So you would apologize?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have been super sincere.
That was a very mature thing to do, and you receive an apology in return.
Oh, not the way I roll.
Your best friend challenges you to a dress-up competition.
Competitive. Accept.
After several minutes of posing and make-believe dress-up, your friend points to your mom's closet and challenges you to a real game of dress up.
I think turn her down.
Turn her down? Okay. She eggs you on, saying, "You could never look as grown up as me." You gonna
I would
take that?
probably respond to that dress up.
So you're not gonna take that.
Yeah, probably not.
You find 2 designer evening dresses and pull them on over your high heels. You look simply smashing, darling. You win the contest. Now for a nice makeup session. It's time to sell candy bars for the school charity drive.
Ooh, I was a Girl Scout briefly. I don't know if we... No, we must have. We did the wrapping paper. Let me think. 6 or 7.
Yeah, probably past 7 now.
I think my dad's help would probably have been forced upon me. I guess motivated dad.
What a team. You move from door to door with confidence, selling 4 whole boxes in less than an hour. That is a powerful bonding experience that strengthens family ties. You go out for an ice cream soda to celebrate your successful partnership. Pretty cool ending
Yes.
for that story.
Yeah. Not. I mean, maybe. It's not like I had no good moments. Those are not the ones that stick in my brain. Me being an awful brat is what stuck in my brain.
Your friends are all waiting for you to come out after school, but you have a ton of homework and you've been watching television since you came home. On your way out, your mother asks, "Did you do all your homework?"
Probably semi-honest. Only got a little.
Yeah, semi-honest. Whoa. Okay.
Oh man, that reminds me of a story. It's not a great story.
Semi-honest is almost like being semi-pregnant. And your mother says, "Finish what you have left before you go out." Is this
I'm not allowed to react to that? I would have pitched a fit.
Yeah, no, not this time. Now, is this a story that's to be told on the air?
No, it was just that our neighbors were somewhat loud people, and we had like a very respectable different distance between our houses, but
You still heard it?
yeah. Well, they were having like a family meeting out on the deck. And we had our windows open because it was good enough weather to be out on the deck and also have your windows open.
Sure.
And we heard them like shouting. I think it was the mom shouting at one of the kids, "Well, you can't be a little bit pregnant." And that was all we could really hear. And we could hear one of the daughters like crying. Our theory is that like she probably like went out and got drunk and said that she was like only a little drunk, and her parents were like, "That's not a good thing. It's like you can't get a little bit pregnant. You're either drunk or you're not."
All right, so that's the first time that, or it's not the first time that you've heard that analogy.
Correct.
Okay.
Let's finish off this row and call it a night.
Alrighty. While you're outside playing alone, a car pulls over to the side of the road and the driver motions for you to come over. You notice that the license plate reads OBO 237.
Suspicious. Stay where you are.
He motions for you to come closer, and he has a kind enough face. You hear him say that he's a policeman looking for a friend of yours. He asks if you'll get in and help him find your friend.
Tell him that I can't.
He opens the door on your side and you turn to run away. You run quickly away from the man's car. He doesn't catch you, but if he had, oh, you dodged another one. If he had, your life would have ended. At home, you
Jiminy
tell what happened.
crickets.
At home, you tell what happened, and you tell the police come and ask if you noticed the plate number. Do you remember?
It's such a weird thing to say. They're the ones who control whether I remember.
Read me back the plate.
Oh, it's OBO237, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
I don't think in the moment and with the amount of time elapsed that I would have remembered that. And also the reason I remember that is because of associations like OBO or best offer. I wouldn't have heard or seen that enough for that to be drilled in my head yet. And 237 was my homeroom for all 4 years of high school, and that wouldn't have been drilled in my head yet. So no.
So the answer is no.
Yes, correct.
He wasn't caught. You dodged another coin flip.
Really? Wow. Well, I always have been real. That's actually quite accurate for my life. I've always been really lucky.
Yeah, it's certainly showing here. Okay, last one for the night. You've just turned off the television set and your room is pitch dark. Through the shadows, you notice that your closet door is open just a crack. You can almost see the image of a black hooded axe murderer squinting at you through the door. He is waiting for you to close your eyes and fall asleep. In the quiet of the night, you can hear his hoarse breath making deep, gurgling sounds. You look away from the door, then look back. It's open a bit farther than it was the last time. If you can only make it to the closet and shut the door tight, you know he won't be able to get out and murder you in your sleep. The morning light will destroy him, so you won't have to worry about seeing him when you wake up. Scene.
I never really did this. I wasn't like a monsters in the closet or like imaginary fears. So probably calm sneak.
No.
What? Fine, calm sleep.
Christ, you don't have much of an imagination, do you? You're only young once. You could be locked up for imagining this shit later, so live a little.
That's such a funny line of logic. That's really funny.
Yeah, I can't do that line without overreacting. It's only right to do so.
Get locked up for imagining this later. That's really funny.
Okay, so here's our sign-off for the moment. We have 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21, 23, 25, 30 stories remaining, which I don't think we're going to get to all of if the last chapter was any indication. But where we will pick up next time is
30
right
stories in
around...
the chapter?
Yeah, 30 stories in the chapter.
Jiminy crickets. How many were there supposed to be in the last one that we didn't end up doing?
Like 8 or 9. Well, here's the thing. Next time we're not going to have the preliminary gameplay explanations. We're not going to have the questionnaire, which took like 20 minutes to begin with.
Sure.
So yeah, progress will be much further here. And the later chapters actually get a bit shorter. But all the formative stuff happens in like the first 3, maybe 4 chapters. So it'll start going downhill after that point about. All right, so we'll save with the marker there. We finished this session at 8.4. Intellectual and social spheres have dropped a little. Familial also down just a teeny bit. It has now taken close to 7 years, and you still haven't boosted your physical any since the incident.
I need a new doctor.
Gentleness has gone down further. Happiness is down further. Confidence continues to shoot the moon. Trustworthiness is up a little bit. And yeah, that's about where you sit. What are your thoughts so far? About 1.5 in.
It's so funny that I got to the first death thing.
You've dodged every bullet so far.
That, I mean, is super accurate for my life.
I wonder if it knows that based on your answers or whatever.
I mean, I don't know.
This is phenomenal, though. Just this whole thing.
And the physical thing will happen. It just it didn't happen then. Like, I get super sick from 9 to 22. With ups and downs of how sick. I wouldn't say it's 1%. Like, I could function. But it will have happened. I don't know. There probably isn't a develop chronic illness event.
Yeah, I don't think this had anything like that. It was a little too primitive for that.
And confirm you definitely can't be gay, right?
Do not remember enough to confirm.
Well, who was the last person you played this with?
Martyr. And he didn't get far enough before dying.
Oh, he did die at the...
Yeah, Martyr did die at the abduction scene.
At the abduction scene? Oh.
Yep. Yeah, Martyr wasn't so fortunate with his coin flip. Chibi is just beginning chapter 4. And she was even longer ago than that. Like I told you earlier, I deliberately got myself killed off. At the, I forget whether I did it in the kitchen scene or in the abduction scene, but one or the other. Somewhere early. Yeah, but you're past both, so not totally uncharted territory, but beyond where I got.
Okay.
Okay, so progress has been saved. Sign off checks have been done. I think that is it. So, thank you all for joining us for Alpha Wit Thursday. I am still Alpha.
I've remained wit so far, although it's looking like I am really walking the edge of that.
Well, we'll see if you decide to pull back from the ledge or jump right over it over the next couple episodes. But for right now, come on, we got to do it.
Oh, I almost forgot our new sign-off.
Yes. Good night, stupid.
Good night, stupid.
Yes, that one. Have an alpha night, all.